Wayward Courier Ch5. I think he likes them, Twilight whispered as the human tore through the apple pies. It's like he ain't eaten in days, Applejack commented, feeling sorry for him, and not only because she had injured him. Those were good, the human commented, wiping his mouth with the back of his hand. The basket was empty. Twilight just stared for a moment. You ate them all already? She asked, stunned. There was enough there for 3 ponies. The last time I ate was before I saved your friend, he replied, now licking his fingers. Ugh, I think I ate some dirt again, he said, muttering the last part as though hoping she wouldn't hear it. Do you think you could stop talking gibberish for a moment? Applejack asked, not happy with being left out of the conversation. We're speaking Zabrekan, Applejack, not gibberish, Twilight admonished as she switched back to equestrian, a little unhappy with her friend's lack of sensitivity. Sorry, Twi, I just don't like it when somebody's having a conversation and I can't understand a word they're saying. Applejack glared at the human, who noticed and glared right back. And I don't trust this fella, even if he did say rainbow. The orange didn't trust me. I could just tell. Something about its tone. I sound crazy, I know. That's why I'm telling you this. No one else would even consider what I'm saying to have any truth to it. I talk to my own brain, and this sounds crazy to me. What did they look like? I guess I never really told you. Huh. Okay. The one with the horn, Twilight Sparkle. She had a purple coat, and her mane and tail were a darker purple. Somehow they had a hot pink stripe running through it. On her flank, yes, I looked at her flank. What of it? Anyway, there was some strange starburst symbol kind of thing there. What color? The star itself was bright pink and had 6 points. There were 5 stars around it, all white and with 5 points. I'll try and draw a picture later. The other one, the one with the Stetson. Her name was Applejack. I know, the name sounds stupid to me too. Anyway, she was orange. Her mane and tail were blonde. I mean, the clean kind of blonde you'd see when people were still, able to bathe on a regular basis. I can't remember the last time I had a bath. They were both tied up into a ponytail. Yes, a horse with 2 ponytails. One of them her own actual tail. Sounds fucking stupid, I know. And of course, a Stetson. How she had a Stetson, I still don't know. Her flank had 3 apples. Just apples. Yes, nothing special. The building I was in, there were a fuck ton of books on the walls and shelves, so a library. And when I say a fuck ton of books, I mean there were probably more intact books there than there are in the Mojave combined. Did I tell you how tall they were? No? Okay, well, they were about 4 feet high at the head, maybe a bit taller. What? You're telling me they're actually called ponies? I thought that word existed only on their world. Okay, this is some seriously weird shit. You have any idea how that even makes sense? If it makes any sense? So what do you plan on doing with this fella anyway? Applejack asked, taking back the basket. He'll need a place to stay, Twilight mused. I don't have much room here, so... She turned to her farmer friend expectantly. I ain't letting him stay at the farm, Twi, Applejack replied. But why not? Because there ain't no telling just what that fella might do. Didn't Rainbow say that he killed a pair of manticores? She pointed an accusing hoof at the human. I don't want anything like that anywhere near my kin. It only killed them because it saw that she was in danger. Applejack noted the hesitation in her voice. If you're so sure, why don't you ask him? Twilight turned to the human, who had been watching them the whole time. Excuse me, mister. She trailed off awkwardly. Do you have a name? He seemed to laugh at the idea of not having one. Of course I have a name. For now, though, you can just call me the Courier. Twilight was not amused by his answer. That's not a name. That's a job title. A title, yeah. But one I'm fond of. The Courier scratched himself. After all, it's what I did for a while. So, he asked abruptly, what do I call you, little purple horse? My name is Twilight Sparkle, and I'm a unicorn. Twilight replied, unhappy with how the conversation was going. That's my friend Applejack. You're in my home in Ponyville, which is in Equestria. The Courier processed the information slowly. Well, there goes all hope of being anywhere on Earth, he said. Earth? That's a strange name for a world, Twilight commented. Well, I didn't name it. The courier responded harshly, as though being accused of suffering from a lack of imagination. I just live there. Okay, Twilight said carefully, a little wary of the perceived aggression. So where are you from? She asked, her curiosity getting the better of her. The city of New Vegas, in the Mojave Wasteland, he answered. Well, not exactly, but that's where I live now. Kind of. Twilight's questioning was interrupted by Applejack. Dang it, Twi, could you not do that? The farmer asked, indignantly, and what did he say? He says to call him Courier, and he's from somewhere called New Vegas? Applejack looked at her expectantly. And? She asked. Twilight blinked in confusion, further aggravating the farmer. I asked you to ask him why he killed them manticores. Oh, right, Twilight replied sheepishly. She turned back to the human. Mr. Courier, why did you kill the manticores? The manta what now? He asked, confused. The two things you killed in the Everfree Forest, Twilight elaborated. Oh, those, he exclaimed. Well, the first one, I was pretty sure that it was attacking an intelligent creature, one that came from something resembling civilization. I had no idea at the time, though, he explained. Glad I did. The second one probably heard me trying to talk to your colorful friend. Twilight turned back to Applejack. He says that he killed the first one to protect Rainbow. The second one was self-defensive. She translated to the farmer, hoping that it would help her relax. It didn't. And you believe him? She asked. This here alien shows up and kills a pair of manticores like they were nothing, and you're happy to let him wander around Ponyville. Applejack didn't care that she was yelling at the top of her lungs. She just wanted the human nowhere near Ponyville. I couldn't understand a word that was being said, but I didn't really need to. The orange one seemed happy to try and run me out of town. I didn't have much to work with, though. Threatening them was only going to end badly. It always does. I knew I had to talk to her, but there was no way I would be able to pull that off. Language barriers fucking suck. Of course, I'm a quick thinker. I wouldn't be running a casino if I wasn't. But as is natural in such situations, I needed help. Twilight, I asked. Yes, I asked the damn pony for help. Is there any way you can get your friend there to understand what I'm saying? She seemed shocked. Probably doesn't help that I was looking pretty damn angry. That's what I was told anyway. I wouldn't have a clue. You just don't notice it yourself. I guess. Are you sure that's a good idea? The fact that she was concerned for my safety was one of the reasons I liked her. Probably not, but I'll risk radiation poisoning and broken ribs if it gets her off my back. Speaking of radiation poisoning, I could feel the effects of it. It was taking everything I had to not throw up. It also felt like the room was spinning. I might be able to get her to understand Zabrikan with a translation spell. She was obviously weighing her options, but it'll be a one-way thing, and temporary. Not a perfect solution, I know, but better than nothing, right? That'll have to do. He wants to speak with you directly, Twilight said in response to the farmer's most recent angry outburst about being left in the dark. How is he meant to do that? Applejack asked, her anger mixed with curiosity. If you stay still, I should be able to make it so that you can understand what he's saying, the unicorn explained. I'm not sure how long it'll last, though, she said, her horn glowing purple. After a few seconds, with nothing seemingly happening, Applejack spoke up. Well, ain't you doing this? I think she already did. The farmer jumped and turned to the source of the new voice, the human. Nice hat, by the way, he said with a nod. Thanks, the orange pony said carefully. He can't understand you, Twilight said as the courier looked blankly at them. I want you to listen to what I'm going to say, he said. Might help you understand why I'm the way I am. Applejack nodded warily. Barely 2 months ago, I was in a battle. The most recent in a long war between the New California Republic and Caesar's Legion. Both ponies stared at him. The concept of war, while not alien, was one they found almost impossible to grasp. Before that, about 200 years, a war my ancestors fought nearly wiped out all life on the planet. We're still picking up the pieces, he said bitterly. The world I come from. It's kill or be killed. That's why I was so ready with threatening you with a weapon before. If you wake up after being attacked, it usually means some very bad things are about to happen. He scowled. Last time that happened to me, a bunch of crazy robots pulled out my heart, my spine, and my brain. He said offhandedly, I'm simply a product of my environment. I'm sure you haven't gone days without food, water, and sleep. I bet you haven't had to limp for 6 hours with a knife in your leg because a fight didn't go as it should have, and he got lucky. And you've never walked into a town and seen the streets littered with bodies. Both ponies were on the verge of being sick. The idea of such hardship, pain, and all-around wrongness, too much for them. How could one being survive so much and still seem so happy? And having his brain removed, there was no way he should still be alive. You have no right to judge me, Miss Applejack. Not until you've been through what I have. He turned away and put a hand to his mouth. Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to throw up and pass out in my own vomit. Both ponies gave a confused stare, which quickly turned to shock and horror as he did just that. Author's note. A tad late, but Also, a quick bit of research revealed to me that nausea and vomiting are actual symptoms of radiation poisoning. Also, radiation isn't as deadly in the Fallout universe as it is in ours.